We have this book, which has the same title by Joe Karbo. What's going on? For people that are familiar with this book.
That is the most marvelous little book I ever read in my entire life. That book sold over 2.5 million copies without ever being in a bookstore. And that little book changed my life. Joe Karbo was my friend and my mentor and my teacher. And when Joe died, I realized that his book had made such an impact on my life, and he personally had made such an impact on my life, that I decided that I would like to resurrect that book and keep it for new generations of people coming up. So as you can see, we've reissued the book, but we've changed it a lot. We change it every year. We add to it, we update it, we revise it, and we expand it. So it's absolutely current and relevant and pertinent for the mid-90s.
And it's become a little bit bigger, too.
It has become
a little heavier.
Well, not only that, but we've also now included a workbook with it as well. Or we like to call it a guidebook because we're lazy enough to think that no one should have to work all that hard. But Joe Karbo was the original author of the book, and so your question is, should you call me the author or the re-author? I guess it's kind of a moot point because there is so much of Joe in there that my original job from my standpoint was to expand on the book. So as far as I'm concerned, Joe Karbo is the author. Copyright Office now says that I'm the author, but I'm very proud to just be affiliated with Joe. He was terrific.
I know that you've marked it.
Virtually every word that was in the original book is in the new book as well. And it's clearly marked so that you can tell where Joe is speaking and where I'm speaking.
So have times changed enough that you have enough to change each time you redo The Lazy Man's Way to Riches? What has changed about money-making over the years?
I don't know that it's changing about money-making. I think what's happening is we're finding out more about how people work, what makes people tick. We ask 3 basic questions in the book. Who am I, what do I want, and how do I get it? And then the first question of who am I is a very interesting question. Because if you just look at it from the surface, you identify who you are. But if you go at a deeper level and you say, who am I deep down inside? Am I really the person that I think I am? Or would I rather be somebody else? And in my case, the question was answered by, I'd rather be somebody else. I realized that I was living the life that my parents chose for me. Went to the schools that they selected. I followed a career basically that they selected, or that a coach selected for me, or that a school teacher helped guide me along the path.
And that's very common.
Very common. So what we try to stress in the very first part of the book is to answer the question of who are you? In other words, what is your core desire? What is your burning desire?
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Exactly.
Even though you might be 40, 50 years old.
So there are a million ways to ask the question, what do you really want to do with your life? We found that in many cases, I know in my case, and in Joe Karbo's case as well, we had both spent a great deal of time preparing for a particular life. And as we went up that ladder to life, what happened was we both realized this ladder was leaning on the wrong wall. We were following a career that in Joe's case didn't work for him, and in my case didn't work for me. And it wasn't until I discovered who I really was and had the courage to say, no, this is what I want over here, that my life began to work for me. And that's part of the mentoring system in this new program, of helping you decide who you really are and what you really want.